Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good evening so far. And so I just got hit with this, like, age verification thing on this game. And it's, like, threatening to, like, delete your account and shit if you don't do it. Golly, I don't know. I don't recall ever seeing a deal like that in a game before us. What the fuck that's about. Oh, yeah, do this first. Alright, so we're gonna jump right back into the story quest here. Okay, so I need to wait till 5. The following day. Alright, gotta go back to the Hotel de Boer.
Why are we here so early? Our meeting with Van isn't for a while.
I wanted to check on Escoffier.
Check on her? Why? What happened? Oh no. Escoffier, are you alright?
I'm fine. Just need to get some more coffee in me.
You really did pull an all-nighter then.
Huh? What happened to my coffee? Did I really drink it all?
For now, you should get some rest.
Alright. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Well, there's cooking facilities here. Or we could just grab a cup of coffee from Cafe Lutece, but either way, hurry!
Go to Submit a dish containing coffee beans. Do I have one?
Coffee. Need coffee.
As a matter of fact, I do. Wait a sec. No, it's not letting me. Okay. Wait, why is it? Okay, that's weird. I don't know why. Oh, yeah.
Strong, bitter coffee beans, transformed through expert brewing and balanced perfectly with rich, creamy steam milk. Wonderful. I feel much better now. Thank you so much, Traveler and Paimon.
Glad to hear it, but make sure to catch up in your sleep when you get the chance.
How goes the investigation?
I think I figured out where the problem lies. Honestly, it's ridiculous. I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
Wait, what investigation? What are you guys talking about?
I'll save it for when everyone else gets here. It's so stupidly small, I can't believe it's caused so much drama.
And yet, look at this kitchen.
Yes, except my failures were stepping stones to success.
Escoffier, have you seen Savannah?
Huh? No, not since yesterday. Why? What's wrong?
After seeing her home yesterday, we were all a little concerned about how she was doing. So, I dropped by her place early this morning to check on her. Only to find an empty house with the doors wide open. I left Alphonse and the others to keep watch at her home, while I checked the Hotel de Boer. I'm worried something bad might have happened. If she's not here, then where could she be?
Boss, Escoffier, bad news.
Alphonse? You're supposed to be keeping watch at Savannah's house.
We were, but then, just after you left, we found this stuff in her house.
Oh, looks like a map with a bunch of random places circled. What does it mean?
Wait a second. This feels familiar. I'm sure these places are all connected somehow. Of course, from the Codex. They're all places that Modeste explored on his adventures.
The founder of the Hotel de Boer?
Yeah, but I don't understand. The adventure logs in the Codex are too fragmented to be of any use. How come this map shows all the missing details?
The Codex de Boer? Then, this place marked in red out at sea. Could that be the fabled birthplace of Gâteau de Boer?
Seriously? So now she set her sights on finding the original recipe and beating Escoffier that way? Geez, Savannah. Any anything to overcome a gâteau plateau, huh?
Ugh, idiot! Does she have a death wish? Those ruins are thousands of years old.
Hold on, there's more. Besides the map, we also found these letters.
Well, I was hoping that the scene we saw last time where she overheard them talking was going to be like a revelation for her, but apparently no, she's back to her psycho ways again. Right.
It was you. You let the Lumaline through, didn't you? It sounds like a threat letter. Does this mean that Savannah was responsible for the safety incident? And not Monica after all?
Retrieve the codex by any means necessary. So the cooking contest and the cheating. Someone else was behind her pulling the strings?
She's keeping the true recipe to herself.
Ugh, this is all such a mess! Paimon needs a second to process this. First, we thought that Savannah forced Monica to cheat in the cooking contest. But now, it turns out that someone else forced Savannah to force Monica to cheat?
So did Savannah blackmail Monica? Or is it the other way around?
You're finally here. Of course. I should have put two and two together as soon as I read your threat letter. The food safety incident, the demand for a cooking contest, the instruction to blackmail Monica, even the suggestion that Escoffier was keeping secrets from me. It was all part of your grand plan, wasn't it, Monica?
Okay, bro, this fucking story has more plot twists than a fucking, I don't know. More plot twists than fucking Attack on Titan, like the entire anime. Like, bro, what the fuck?
We should be getting close to the spot marked on the map.
Of all the stupid things she's done, this really takes the cake. The moment we find her, I'm gonna curse the living daylights out of her.
Okay, wait, so why are we going underwater now? What is this about? Recommended elements, ice and water. Okay, well, Escoffier is probably going to be a trial character, so that should cover the ice. But then I'm going to need a water. Yeah, we'll just use this team, I guess. My Nouvellette team. Yep, I was correct. Escoffier is indeed a trial character.
Whoa, this place looks like an underwater restaurant, doesn't it? Suddenly, the idea of an adventure chef finding secret ingredients makes a whole lot more sense.
I think Modest's codex mentioned this place. A public bath from the time of Remoria. So yeah, definitely the kind of place that would have served food and drinks.
Oh, wait. Okay, so they're thinking this is the place where the original codex is.
Huh? Some blubber beasts have come to join the party? How did they get here? Aw, they ran off!
Let's head further in.
That could be easier said than done. Something's blocking the entrance.
Of course.
Well, did Modeste mention it in his adventure logs by any chance? They must have gotten through somehow.
Good point. Yes, that's right. It's coming back to me now.
We prepared a banquet for our shy little guests, and as the food flowed away on the current, they broke into a joyous chorus, and the path opened to us.
We have to feed the blubber beasts? With what? There's nothing here besides rocks, romaritime flowers, and lumitoile. See, this is why you should always bring snacks. You never know when you're gonna need them. Now we have to head all the way back to shore and grab some.
There's no time for that. Romaritime flowers and lumitoile will have to do. They may not look appetizing to us, but who knows? They could be blubber beast delicacies.
Wait, we're seriously gonna try this?
Right. Okay, so we need more of this than okay.
A dash of frosting! Yes!
Alright, so we got 4 of that, and we'll get 2 of these. Alright. Alright. So... Bro, I hate when they fucking do this shit.
or not, are we sure this stuff is edible?
Trust me, they'll love it.
More pertinently, how do we actually feed it to them?
Oh, good question. If we try to put them in the pool, we'll probably just scare them off again, and who knows how long they'll be gone.
Yes, we can't afford to wait for them to double back. Oh, what was it that Modeste said again? Something about the food flowing away on the current.
Okay. So how do you... Oh, you rotate it. Okay, well, that's easy enough. We can deliver that to there.
Hey, be careful! Scare them off too much and they might not come back again. Wow, it's really singing! It must taste better than Paimon thought!
Oh, I have to do it again. Alright. Okay.
The tracks turned back again. Oh, so annoying. Yes!
Alright, we got a 5. Yeah, that should work.
Hey, it's open!
Oh, there's a treasure chest. Oh, whoops. Forgot that was down there.
Hey, give me your water.
Here.
I said your water, the one you just drank out of?
Sure.
All those years slaving away under Escoffier, and then you. Today, it's finally paying off. Not only have I found the ruin that Savelli kept hidden, but I also get to boss you around like my little lapdog. Hey, go scout ahead for me. If we need to do any more blast tunneling, I want to know where to lay the explosives. Did you not hear me? Get going.
Why don't you do it yourself?
Oh, when did you learn to fight back? You're always so compliant when I give you instructions by letter.
That's because you threatened to expose me for the Lumiline incident. I swear, if I'd known what you were planning, I'd never have.
Ha! Don't be so self-righteous. Admit it, you've always been jealous of Escoffier. That's why you lapped up everything I told you. You were terrified of her finding out about your part in the Lumiline incident, and you resented the way her reputation hung over you. So you jumped at the chance to convince yourself that she was the villain, that she deliberately hid her secret recipes from you just to hold you back. It was the only excuse you needed to justify getting back at her. First, idolization, then jealousy, suspicion, and self-deception. That's what this comes down to. It was the same story with Savelli and my ancestor. He offered Modeste his friendship only to murder him out of vanity. He promised to explore the world with him, only to later destroy all records of their adventures. It's a miracle I even found this place. You have no idea the countless hours I spent piecing it all together. So you see, you're no better than Savelli. If you can't beat him, betray him, right?
I am no Savelli, nor will I ever be.
Oh, put a lid on it. You really think you can absolve yourself of your vindictive and jealous behavior now? Just because you finally realized that Escoffier never kept any secrets from you? You didn't show any remorse when she left, or in the cooking contest. Why start now? You have no right to redemption.
You're right. I don't deserve her forgiveness. But I am done being bullied into submission by you!
Ooh, feisty. But you should watch your tone. Talking to me like that could get you in big trouble.
I somehow doubt that. Since I poisoned both our water bottles.
What?
Ever since I learned the truth, I've been biding my time, waiting for this moment. You've played me like a fiddle for so long, and now this is payback!
But you drank it too!
It's what we both deserve. This is the price we must pay for betraying Escoffier. You'll die here with me, Monica!
You.
What's so funny?
Oh, you're too much. I thought I'd play along for a bit just to amuse myself. You gave a very rousing performance. I saw your dumb plan a mile off. There's no poison in these bottles, just clean, fresh water.
No.
Revenge is a dish best served cold, you know? Did you really think your half-baked plot would fool me? You're a lousy chef, and you make a lousy villain, too. A complete waste of space. No wonder you never amounted to anything.
Everything I ever did was a failure. And now, I failed again, for the last time.
Hey, why don't you try your hand at being a comedian in your next life? You got a good laugh out of me. But now the show's over. You should have just done like I asked, Savannah. All I wanted you to do was scout the ruins for me. But you had your chance, and now it's time to say goodbye.
Stop right there!
Let her go, Monica! We've got you surrounded!
Okay, bro. This is getting kind of out of hand now. They're going a little over the top with this shit.
Escoffier?
Ugh, looks like I'll have to keep you around for a little longer.
You can't!
Stay back if you want her alive! Escoffier and the Traveler. I can't take you both on in combat, but if you so much as flinch, I can end Savannah's life in a heartbeat.
Monica, what are you hoping to achieve by this? You're about to commit murder, and for what? A recipe?
A recipe? You chefs are all blinded by your myopic focus on kitchen affairs. Well, some of us actually have bigger fish to fry. Modeste had a secret. The truth behind his so-called genius, the je ne sais quoi factor in his gâteau de bois, and it's right here in these ruins.
Are you serious? You're here because of a gâteau de bois obsession? You've gone completely mad!
I couldn't care less about the cake itself. No, the real treasure is the secret ingredient that Modeste sourced from these ruins. He and Savelli were fools. A priceless treasure of Remoria in the palms of their hands, and they thought, ooh, this would go great in our cake mix. We're talking about a powerful stimulant that also sharpens the senses. That's no cooking ingredient. It's a groundbreaking drug. That's right, I've done my research. It was a drug that Remoria developed for their war machine. I could make a killing by selling it to the treasure hoarders or the Fatui.
Will you listen to yourself? You're completely delusional.
My eyes are wide open. Just wait till I get my hands on this treasure. You'll see what a fool you've been.
Wait, what's that sound?
Just when I thought she couldn't get any crazier. She's lucky the whole place didn't collapse.
Let's find another route and go after her.
Uh-oh, Savannah's gone too!
Monica must have taken her. Oh, what a coward. She's only taken her hostage because she knows that she's no match for you.
At least Savannah is safe for now.
That's true. Even if she finds the treasure, she'll need Savannah alive if she wants to get out of here in one piece.
Oh, well, our path's been blocked, so let's look for another route. The water looks pretty deep here. Maybe it leads somewhere.
As in dive underneath. Oh, yeah. Been a long time since I've done this. Oh, nice.
They were probably awakened by the explosion just now. Alright, Knife Skills 101. Time for some rough chopping.
There's a tear in my robe.
Good fucking lord.
Time to shine!
Okay.
As you wish, main Fräulein.
Off to the freezer!
I swear by my sword! Oh, it's revealed! Strike a pose!
Yep. Guess we're just gonna have to do the rest of this without Nouvelette. Okay, whatever the fuck that means. Hmm.
Another door? Guess we need to prepare another feast for our guests.
Gotta do this again? Okay. Hold on.
Yeah. Ha. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Where are we going here?
It seems to really like the texture of Rome maritime flowers.
Oh, crap. There's two things I gotta... Okay. Wait, really? Oh, hey, look at that. Nouvellette came back. Nice.
Let my name echo in song!
Bow your head.
A dash of frosting! Yeah! Ha!
Alrighty.
I never knew you could process Lumitwol like that. Alright, I've got to jot this down. Lumitwols and maritime flowers. This could open the door to a whole new world.
Yep, that's literally the plan. Wait, hold on. Which door are you talking about?
That's strange. These don't look Romorian to me. More like last century Fontaine.
They don't look that worn either.
Adventurers from last century Fontaine, huh? Oh, Modeste and Savelli, do you think they camped here?
By the looks of it, this was a one-person camp. They adventured together, but maybe one of them came back alone at a later date.
Let's rummage around.
Huh, you really think so?
Trust our adventurers' instincts. We're pros at this stuff, just like you're a pro in the kitchen.
Well, I'm a pro at least.
Okay, well, the Traveler has more adventuring experience overall, but Paimon's definitely a pro rummager from all those treasure chests.
And bingo, found it.
Darn it! Paimon was just about to show off her rummaging skills.
Huh, no kidding. Are all adventurers so obsessed with journaling? I mean, I guess I take a lot of notes when I'm cooking as well, but I thought that was just me.
Anyway, let's find out who was here.
It's been years since I've last visited these ruins. It's exactly the way I remember it. This place probably hasn't changed in millennia. Sadly, up above, on dry land, everything has changed. The treasure of Remoria. That's what we used to call it. Modeste was right about its potential. It turned Gâteau de Bourg into a national sensation. Our limited stock of the substance meant that the gâteau could only be produced on a small scale. But this only drove up the popularity all the more. Modeste was right about that too. He predicted all of it. He was praised as a genius, while I, as the one person who'd ever disagreed with him, was labeled a talentless fool. Modeste tried his best to console me, but I knew better than anyone just how great the gulf was between us. Our conversations grew scarce, and we saw less and less of each other. I didn't fight it. He had new friends and a career of his own. Why invite further disdain by inserting myself where I did not belong? I told myself that maybe one day, when I finally created a masterpiece of my own, I'd be able to face him without shame. Or maybe one day, when I've put these feelings of self-loathing behind me, I'd be able to ask him with a smile on my face, how about we go on one more adventure, for old time's sake? Unfortunately, that day will never come.
So it was Savelli. From the sounds of it, he came back after Modeste had already died.
I always thought it was just a legend. But if it's true, then this must be the place where they found their secret ingredient, the birthplace of Gâteau de Bourg.
In that case, what does that say about the death of Modeste? If it's all true, maybe Savelli really did have something to do with it.
Let's keep reading.
The taste of Gâteau de Bourg has changed. Modeste was convinced of this, even though everyone swore they couldn't tell. Being the perfectionist that he was, he refused to accept even the slightest flaw in his work. He stopped all sales of the product, locked himself away in the kitchen, and worked day and night, vowing to find out where he had gone wrong. But as he baked and taste tested over and over again, he found he only strayed further and further from the original taste. It was only when he was sipping on coffee one day and realized he could not taste the bitterness that the truth finally dawned on him. What had changed was not the gâteau, but his sense of taste. The treasure of Remoria stimulates the senses, taste included, and invigorates the spirit. In the short term, it offers people the ultimate gourmet experience, but in the long term, it dulls their senses entirely. In hindsight, it made perfect sense. After all, why would a culture that sought liberation from the constraints of their bodies care for the loss of their senses? But we realized it too late. We were just too late. Over the course of his many culinary experiments, Modeste exhausted the remaining supply of the treasure of Remoria. He consumed it all himself. The finest culinary talent of his generation now faced a future in which he would never be able to taste anything ever again. Finally, in despair, he took his own life.
Kind of sounds like Beethoven, except Beethoven didn't commit suicide, but...
And because we had become estranged, I could not be there to stop him, to offer some words of comfort, or even to say goodbye. Yet despite everything, he sent me his final letter.
The treasure of Remoria? Guess Monica was really onto something. It really was a kind of drug.
So, Modeste chose to end his own life. Then, why all the rumors that Savelli murdered him? Also, neither the Codex nor any other contemporary records make any mention of the treasure of Remoria. It's almost as if someone deliberately erased it from history.
Modeste told me everything in his final letter. His was a tale of how even a genius could fail, and how much more devastating it is when it happens. Did he hope I would gain some personal catharsis from knowing the truth? Or maybe he wished for me to warn the public about the dangers of Gâteau de Bourg, proving that I had been right all along. But if the public ever learned how Modeste's greatest triumph became his undoing, his fall from grace would be swift and merciless. 1 minute a genius, the next a joke. It would surely spell the end for his restaurant, too.
Yeah, but, like, bro, how was he supposed to anticipate that that ingredient was going to numb his senses?
What would be his legacy then? How would future generations view everything we built together? I fear the scorn I have faced these last years would pale in comparison to the scorn shown to him by the history books.
That's ridiculous.
I cannot let that come to pass. I will do what I must to protect his name. It will mean tampering with his notes to remove the damning details, leaving mere fragments of our story behind. It may lead his family to suspect me of having a hand in his demise. But if that's the price of destroying all evidence of my crimes, then so be it. I would rather the world believe a tale of genius and jealousy than see his reputation in tatters. The final loose end is the evidence here, at the bottom of the sea.
Oh no, we've got to stop Monica.
Huh? What's wrong? Didn't we say Savannah should be safe for now?
So we thought, but if Monica finds out what happened to the treasure, there's no telling what she might do.
I don't know. I gotta admit, I'm having a hard time following this story now.
The treasure of Remoria. I have found you at last. Savelli, you tried your best to bury the truth, but you underestimated the children of Modeste. Some fragments of his diary escaped your clutches, and we have held on to them for generations. But I have to thank you too, Savannah. Without your help retrieving the Codex, and with it the last piece of the puzzle, I may never have found this place.
Okay. Wait a sec, though. I thought the story had already established that retrieving the codex didn't mean anything because it actually was an exact copy of the one that, or the one that she already had was an exact copy of the one Escoffier had. See what I mean, dude? That, like, bro, this story doesn't make any fucking sense, dude.
But now, finally, the secret to Remoria's military might is within my grasp. The treasure of Remoria is mine!
Wait, military might?
Oh. It's empty. It's empty?
Monica? Oh, we were seconds too late.
Escoffier? What's the deal with that jar?
Savelli's final act! He wanted to conceal the secret of the treasure forevermore and make sure it would never harm anyone again. So he came here after his friend's death and destroyed every last shred that remained.
This can't be happening. All the years I spent piecing together the truth. All my painstaking planning. All that for an empty jar?
Monica, don't do anything stupid. This ruin is more dangerous than you realize.
Oh, shut your pie hole!
Praise be to Lord Remus. You barbarian shall be slain.
Ooh, shit.
She's a nutcase! A liability to herself and everyone else. Well, now it's up to us to clean up the mess she's made. Take these golems out!
Settle down.
Barbados, guide us.
Let the world collide!
Let the mighty be humble.
Up to the freezer!
By royal decree!
Oh, fuck off.
Shower me with praise!
Well.
Why is this place still shaking?
Maybe it's because of the fighting?
Either way, it's all her fault. Enough chit-chat. Let's get out of here, Traveler Escoffier, come on!
Okay, I'm coming.
Oh, no you don't. If I can't get what I want, neither will any of you.
Bro, I've seriously had it with this story. This thing has gotten so stupid so fast.
I've got nothing to show for my life's work so far. But if I can take another so-called genius down with me in my final moment, then it was all worth it.
You're a psycho!
Yeah.
Savannah? Oh, when did you wake up? I may be a lousy chef, but it looks like I'm not a complete waste of space.
Hey, we need to go.
Traveler? Okay, let's go!
Escoffier! Savannah!
Traveler! And Paimon!
Venejem, what are you all doing here?
What did you expect us to do? Stay at the restaurant and sit on our merry derrieres? While the Traveler and Escoffier were out here risking their lives?
Bro, Mary Derrieres. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually kind of genius.
We had to do something, even though that something ended up being, well, waiting for you here instead.
I don't deserve any of you. And I certainly don't deserve to be your head chef.
Hey, what's up, Ox? How you doing?
It was my fault Escoffier had to leave. Then I couldn't live up to her standards. I acted like a tyrant in the kitchen. And now I almost got myself killed. Come back, Escoffier. Come and be our head chef again. I'll never be able to replace you.
Okay, so everything I said to you the day I left, it just went in one ear and out the other?
Huh? Sorry, I was kinda in my own head at the time. All I could think about was the Lumiline situation. What was it you said again?
Forget it. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I didn't leave this job because of you. And you're not nearly as awful a chef as you think.
Glitched out.
If you were that bad, why would all your staff show up here for you?
Escoffier's right. Sure, you nitpick our work and get us to do things over a lot. But when it comes down to it, you're the one who's always doing whatever it takes to make sure the customers get served on time, every time.
Things were pretty rough after Escoffier left, and Savannah's the only reason we've been able to make it through.
Bro, I'm sorry, but this story is a fucking mess. Now, we're supposed to be okay with the fact that she abused all her subordinates?
Our customers know that Escoffier doesn't work for us anymore. But the fact is, they keep coming back. If that's not an endorsement of your work, I don't know what is. At the end of the day, we're all human, and we all make mistakes. All we can do is recognize where we get it wrong and do our best to improve. That's all that's humanly possible.
No, I get what you're saying, but what I did to Firmont and to Escoffier, it's unforgivable.
Well, about that, there's someone else here to see you, Chef.
It's been a while, Chef Savannah.
Firmont? I'm so sorry. I put far too much pressure on you. And the way I stubbornly refused to go and see you after you fell ill. There's no excuse. But I'm too late, aren't I? The damage is done. I heard that you can't even hold a kitchen knife anymore.
Actually, I think I'm going to be just fine.
Huh?
We thought Firmin's problem was purely psychological in nature. But after the threat letter came to light, it got Firmin thinking. And then he remembered the tea that Monica used to give him every night. And as it turns out, she was lacing it with Lumiline the whole time.
No way! Doesn't that cause nerve damage?
It can. High doses pose a risk of serious nervous and sensory complications. But if you calculate the dosage carefully, you can control the extent of its effects. A small dose might simply make a person more emotional, whether that means more fragile or more hot-tempered.
No wonder it seemed like you'd lost your edge.
I asked my friends at the Fontaine Research Institute about it. They said that with the low dose I was taking, the risks are pretty small. They also fixed me up with some meds and said I should recover in no time.
You're already sounding a lot more confident.
Well, that's what happens when you give someone a little bit of hope to cling on to.
There's more. We believe that Firma was likely not Monica's only victim.
You mean she poisoned me too?
Oh, so that's why Savannah's been so irritable this whole time!
Let's not be too quick to blame everything on the Lumiline. That stuff can only amplify what's already there. So tasty food will seem like the most delicious thing in the world, while food you don't particularly care for will become utterly revolting. So you better make sure you reflect on your behavior and apologize to every single person you've wronged.
I will. I'm sorry. There's still one question that's really bugging me. Why is it that no matter what I do, my Gâteau de Bourg never tastes the same as yours? Is it just... I mean, is it because you're a genius and I'm not?
It's because the heating element in your oven is broken, you silly goose.
What?
Is that it?
I felt like something was off during the cooking contest. Once I got around to checking all the equipment, I noticed it right away. There was a half-degree discrepancy between the temperature setting and the actual temperature.
Bro, okay. I feel like I need... I feel like I need, Zane here to back me up on this, but you're telling me that a half-degree difference in the fucking oven or whatever is gonna make the food taste different? Like, come on now.
All the ovens in the whole kitchen had the same problem, which confused me at the time, but by this point, it's pretty obvious that Monica must have tampered with them. I would have figured it out the day of the bake-off, since the issue affected both our teams. But of course, Monica sabotaged mine so that could never happen.
No. I spent so long trying to find out where I was going wrong, and then you pinpoint the problem in just one night? It all comes back to one simple, undeniable truth. You're a genius, and I'm just plain old Savannah.
Oh, cut it out! Stop the woe is me act for a second and just think. I came up with this recipe. You don't think that might have something to do with it? Do you know how long I spent perfecting my Gâteau de Bourg? 3 years! 3 whole years! I know this dish inside out, back to front and upside down. And you've been head chef now for what, 6 months? If that? A couple hundred failed attempts, and you're gonna throw in the kitchen towel and declare you'll never be successful because you're not a genius. You clearly have no idea how many kitchen failures I've had under my belt, or just how long it took me to finally get my recipe to a level I was satisfied with. Genius or not, everyone makes mistakes. Modeste did, Savelli did, everyone does. You're only a lousy chef if you don't face up to your mistakes, learn from them, and then keep chipping away until you crack the problem once and for all. Surely you haven't forgotten all that. You were no lousy chef back when I handed you the reins.
I haven't forgotten. And I'll make sure I never do.
That's our head chef.
Haha! Sounds like we won't need another changing of the guard in the Hôtel de Bord kitchen anytime soon. Huzzah!
Aw, what a perfect ending to a crazy journey. Look how happy everyone is.
So you got your mojo back now?
Yeah. Thanks to you, Escoffier. In fact, no. Thanks to all of you.
Aw, friends again. So nice to see them finally settle their beef.
Yeah, it's nice.
Good. So now that's out of the way. It's time for payback. You cheated in our last bake-off, and I demand a rematch right now.
But that was mostly Monica's fault, wasn't it?
Right. And also, does it have to be right now? Savannah's only just got her mojo back, and you barely escaped from a death trap.
No excuses. This is a cooking contest between two top chefs, and nothing will stand in its way. So grab your spatula and get ready, because this rematch is happening today, right now, this instant.
Hey, so, this whole time you were salty about losing?
The second cooking contest commences now!
This time, no more games, and no holding back!
Why did they make the cutscene so much freaking louder? Okay, so now that Monica's not in the picture anymore, they picked Paimon to be the second assistant when they could have picked Navia. I don't know, maybe Navia wasn't available this time. I don't know.
I feel like I don't have the right to be here.
Hey, what are you so afraid of? You can't unbake it now. And if you don't serve it, then good or bad, you'll never find out how to improve. If you're too scared to fail, you'll never know what real success tastes like. So?
Embrace your failure. Taste it. Digest it. That's the way to success.
I don't know. Sounds like it's easier said than done.
I'll do it.
The results are in! A landslide victory for Escoffier!
Quite rightly, too. Piece of cake.
Her tail seems very happy with the results.
Oh yeah, look at that! Savannah looks pretty chipper too, considering she lost.
This wasn't for you, was it?
Now, where were we? Yes. Do you have any more questions for me after everything that's happened?
Are you going to stay at the Flu Sandra?
I thought Navia would have filled you in. And actually, I said all this to Savannah before I left. Although, as we saw, I don't think any of it sank in. I had two reasons for leaving. One was the food safety incident, of course. But the other was that the Hotel de Boer had reached a point where it didn't need me anymore. So I decided to step down and look for new opportunities to improve myself.
Improve how?
Well, a while back, I got to know a fellow chef from Liyue, and in her, I saw so many new possibilities. She has that same adventurous spirit that Modeste and Sibeli had in their youth. Slime mucus, lizard tails. With her, nothing's off the table.
Wait, a new fellow chef from Leeway. She's not talking about Xiangling, is she?
There's a whole world of new flavors out there waiting to be explored, hiding away in ingredients we overlook.
Only doing this event because Navia is in it, aren't you? You know what? Since you're the one asking, Zane, yes, that is why I'm doing it. Nah, bro.
Case in point, remember those Romaritime flowers down in the ruins? I used them in the cooking contest just now. Did you taste the difference?
I tend to just stream all those story quests.
What? Paimon didn't notice at all.
Half of the art of cooking is dissecting the recipes of previous chefs and figuring out the exact constellation of elements that gave their work its signature taste.
I'm sorry, my brain is like kind of fried right now, so I'm having to read this shit like 3-4 times over just for it to sink into my head. Bro, dude. Okay, have you finished this story quest yet? Have you played it?
And the other half? It lies in freeing yourself from the confines of the kitchen. You've got to go out and explore the endless possibilities out there.
Uh-oh. Paimon's suddenly not sure she wants to try your cooking anymore.
Well, you should definitely make Paimon test all of your most experimental dishes.
Hey!
The Kanish one was so dead, Charlotte was silenced, and Paimon. Not yet. Bro, this story quest was so over the top. Like, the plot twists and shit, I'm just like... I mean... They still didn't really explain if Monica was the mastermind behind the whole fucking thing, then why the fuck was Monica working as a subordinate to Savannah? Like, that didn't make any damn sense.
Don't worry, it's not going to be a free-for-all like in Modeste's time. Before I put anything into my food, I'll obviously do my research, make sure it doesn't contain any harmful substances.
Well, I will say one good thing about this story quest is that, yeah, like there were no voiceless characters this time. Everybody was voiced, so yay for that.
In the meantime, take this. It's a recipe for Petit Gâteau de Bourg revised version. I tweaked it to suit your needs as busy adventurers. Hope you enjoy, and remember, feedback is always welcome.
All right! So, do you ever see yourself returning to Hotel de Bourg?
Speaking of which, I totally freaking forgot. Gone this whole damn stream and I didn't put up the list. So there you go. Oh yeah, also dude. Okay, so just a little earlier in this story quest. Okay. You know how they were saying that Savannah's Gâteau de Bourg was never tasting like Escoffier's was? Okay, remember that?
Oh, of course. I've already promised Vanishem that I'll come back every once in a while to make sure the quality of the food remains at an acceptable level.
Yeah, so they explained just a little earlier before you got here, I think, that the actual reason it never tasted the same as Escoffier's was not because of something that Savannah herself was doing wrong. It was actually because apparently the oven or whatever she was using, I guess, to heat the food, was like half a degree off. And I was like, bro, there is no freaking way anybody's gonna tell the difference in taste in food from a half a degree of difference. And I'm like, okay, wait, Zane is the expert here. You're the chef, so you got to back me up on this, right? Surely a half degree difference in the oven isn't gonna like make someone actually notice a difference in taste, right? Like, come on, dude. Good luck to Savannah, I guess.
You know, Paimon's still a little disappointed that we never got to see the treasure of Remoria.
It would definitely make a difference. No. There, are you serious, bro?
Surely Monica wouldn't have gotten drawn in so deeply if it wasn't for all the mystery surrounding the original Gâteau de Bourg. She practically dedicated her life to finding the lost pieces of Modeste's diary. Then went to all that trouble to infiltrate the Hotel de Bourg. And in the end, it was all for nothing.
Crap. It depends on what the person's cooking. Okay. She sold her soul for a dream, then had a rude awakening.
Since you mentioned the treasure, between Modeste's writings and what we saw in those ruins, I think I may have figured out the truth. The so-called treasure of Remoria was most likely a substance that the Remorians extracted from Lumitoiles, better known to us as Lumiline.
Huh? So then, why all the hype back in the early days of Gâteau de Bourg?
Don't forget, it was a very different era. We could barely even refine sugar back then, so desserts were very much in their infancy. In a world of bland food, it's no wonder that the first thing to really excite people's taste buds took the world by storm. And as for the Lumiline, it may well have been somewhat valuable in ancient times, but these days, it's just another drug from the Fontaine Research Institute. Even if Savelli hadn't destroyed it all, I doubt it would be worth that much these days.
So after all that, there was nothing in those ruins but worthless junk. Feels strange to say it, but Paimon almost feels sorry for Monica. She sacrificed it all only to get nothing in return.
Yes, Paimon. Poor Monica.
Hey!
She's back!
Huh? Navia? You just got back from that underwater ruin, right? Well, check it out. They ran a special issue. Did you see anything like this down there? Freshly unearthed from the ruins of Rumoria. A magnificent jar thought to be over 1,000 years old.
Wait, but she broke the jar.
Experts say it has immense artistic and historical value. It could be worth an absolute fortune.
Well, I guess they didn't consider the value of the jar. They were only thinking about the value of what was in the jar.
Wait! Isn't that the jar they used to hold the treasure?
If only it was still in one piece. Some butterfingers must have dropped it or something. Ugh, it's such a shame.
Monica. Well, that's it. We're done with the story quests now. Oh, crap, I didn't even mean to do that. Okay, wait. Alrighty.
Ad Astra. Thank you for complete.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. I think these PlayStation 5 controllers are even worse than the PS4 controllers were about getting stick drift. I swear to God, these controllers are so susceptible to stick drift. Like, so freaking ridiculous. We pay like 60, 70 bucks for these damn things, and then they get stick drift within a year. Fucking ridiculous, bro. A certain famous VTuber's birthday is today. Wait. Oh God. Wait. Damn it, who? Dang it, I don't know why, but I've completely forgotten who you're talking about. I saw it just yesterday, didn't
water
I?
Comes in many flavors to the
Who?
consuming
I'm
palate.
sorry, who is it?
Mondstadt's water is crisp and pure, while water from Lire has an enduring aftertaste. In Inazuma, the water possesses a depth of
Oh wait, hold on.
unlike any other.
Ad Astra.
Do this real quick. Oh, it's Sora's birthday? Oh, shit. I didn't realize. Okay. I was thinking of somebody else. Well, happy birthday to Sora, then. Alrighty. Um... Yeah, I know, because I know Shiori's birthday was like, what, a week ago or something? And I thought there was another VTuber that just had a birthday too. I don't know. Anyway. So the bro, I have for a while now, I have been feeling like I want to go on another political rant on stream, but the thing is, the deal is there's just so much shit going on, as as I'm pretty sure you're aware, that I can't even decide what I want to rant about anymore, because there's like so much shit I could potentially rant about. Yeah, Rurika. Was that who I was thinking of? I don't know. I can't remember. Like I said, my brain's not working too well right now. So, you know what? I figured, what if I let you decide what I'm gonna rant about? I don't know. So there's like I said, there's quite a few different things. I could talk more about fascism. I could talk about I could talk about like what the what ICE is doing. So there's this group called ICE, and they're supposed to like, basically they're supposed to be the ones that enforce removing illegal immigrants from the country, right? But unfortunately, they've become a whole different monster at this point. So I could talk about that, or I could go on a rant about kind of what's going on with video games right now, and how they're trying to like raise prices for games and shit. And I know I said political rant, but it actually does tie in with politics, believe it or not. So, you remember me talking about ICE? Yeah, well, I don't know, dude. It's getting like crazy bad right now, what ICE is doing. Video games. So you want me to rant about the video game shit? Is that something you're more interested in, perhaps, than, I guess, more like American politics? Because obviously video games is more of a global thing, I guess. Whereas all like ICE and, you know, and like right-wing influencers, that's that, I guess, I don't know, I guess right-wing influencers could be a global thing too, but I feel like it's more prevalent in the United States than it is here. Okay. Well, why don't we talk a little bit about what's going on with video games? Although I don't I don't know if I really have something I can just present here on the screen about that. Let me think. I don't know. I can't really think of anything I can just pull up to show you, but I guess I'll just talk about it. So, here's the deal. As you know, Nintendo is raising the price of their games for their next console, the Switch 2, to $80. And more recently, I think Xbox has announced they're kind of following suit. And there might be a you might think that the biggest reason that they're wanting to increase the prices of video games is because they've actually been, the prices for video games have been kind of stagnant for quite a long time now. I mean, they've been set at $60 for, you know, over a decade now. And so you're just thinking, well, they're finally, you know, just kind of keeping up with inflation and just general, you know, general rising prices. But you would be mistaken if that's what you're thinking, because while I do think that is probably part of the reason they're doing it, I think there's definitely more to it than that. Because if you haven't been kind of keeping up with the meta for kind of how the gaming industry has been going recently, there have been a lot of like major failures recently in games that have been released, from big you know, big game developer companies. I mean, I'm talking like Ubisoft. I don't know, are you familiar with kind of what's been going on with Ubisoft? I don't know if here, actually, you know what? Here, let's try and find something that that kind of sums up what's been going on with Ubisoft. Let's see. It's a good article I could use here. Is this okay? Well, I know this is kind of a odd source for this information, but I've got a Steam community post pulled up here. Ubisoft is absolutely collapsing. Look at their latest financial report. It's a complete disaster. Sales are down 17.5%. Net bookings down 20%. Digital booking down 20%. Even their old games are flopping now. Operating income negative 82 million euros. How do you even lose money when 86% of your revenue is digital? No discs, no shipping, just pure profit. And don't get me started on player recurring investment, aka their cash cow of battle passes and microtransactions. Even that dropped. This is what happens when you kill off single player gems like Splinter Cell for live service trash. Bro, Splinter Cell? Isn't that like... Okay, hold on a second. Splinter Cell. I thought that shit was like over 20 years old now. Oh well, okay, it's a series. So maybe he meant like the series as a whole. I don't even know like what okay, yeah, so like the first Splinter Cell game came out in 2002. Yeah, for Xbox. Wait, maybe I'm getting it mixed up with something else. I think I am. I think I'm getting it mixed up with something else. But either way, I mean, it is old. I mean, we're talking 2002, so okay, yeah, it's been kind of a yeah. Anyway, flood every game with copy paste open world garbage. Release half broken games full of bugs and NFTs. Turn once loved franchises into soulless grind fests. Ubisoft deserves this L. Let this be a warning to every other AAA dev trying to chase trends instead of making good games. The players are done. Yeah, and I can point to like and I can point to like you know, games like Concord. Like Concord is probably the most famous recent example of this, where you know, they pour tons of money into developing these games and then they just completely fail. I mean, this is kind of a widespread issue now. A lot of AAA developers are going through this kind of a similar story where, and I mean, you know, you might be thinking, well, let me back up. So basically, what I'm saying is that I think a big reason why they're wanting to raise the prices of these games. Oh, Rayman, dude. Okay. Yeah, Rayman, bro. That's funny you mentioned that game because that was actually my first and, well, really probably my only exposure to Ubisoft. I don't think I've even played any Ubisoft games other than Rayman. Yeah, like I've never played Assassin's Creed or anything. But yeah, dude, I remember like the very first Rayman. I played that shit. The original Rayman game. That game was really cool in its time, dude. I mean, the graphics were like really cool. Yeah, I was pretty into that game. But anyway, back to what I was going here. So I think that a big reason why they're raising prices, wanting to raise prices on video games right now, is because they're wanting us to pay for these recent failures that AAA developers have experienced. And so you might be thinking, well, I mean, there's always been video games that have flopped. video games that have failed. So, you know, why now? Why would that be? Why would the recent failures be driving an increase in game prices? And there are two reasons for that. One reason is look at how much money they're pouring into these games now. It's absolutely crazy. We've never seen anything in history that compares to like the amount of money that they're pouring into this shit now. And so whenever you get a game like Concord that completely flops, it's absolutely devastating. Okay? Like they are losing so much damn money on this shit. I mean, at a level we've never seen before. Okay? So that's one. And then the other reason is that I don't think like the big developers have seen failures this much in history. Like I think failures in the past have been more have been experienced more by like not as big game developers. They're probably in the past they've been more relegated to like, you know, small or maybe mid-size game developers, whereas now they're happening at a much higher percentage with big developers. And obviously the big developers are going to have way more pull on what's you know, on how the industry you know, things like how much games cost and things like that. So that's why now I understand that Nintendo, as far as I know, Nintendo hasn't really experienced a failure like Concord. And correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I'm aware, I don't think Nintendo has actually gone through a failure at that level. So I don't know. Maybe you could argue that, well, you know, this doesn't really apply to Nintendo, and they're the first ones to do this. But I definitely see an incentive for like PlayStation and Xbox games to to follow suit with Nintendo and raise their prices, because you know, they're seeing like the deal with, I think the recent deal with Ubisoft is that things are like so bad for them right now that they are literally lying about how successful their recent Assassin's Creed game is. Like I'm not I'm not sure if they're they're doing it to such an extent that they're actually like lying about sales numbers. But I don't know, they're definitely doing something to kind of mislead people on how well the recent Assassin's Creed game is doing. Let me put Ubisoft Assassin's Creed lie. Okay, I am not gonna trust anything that the Asmongold Reddit says about this shit, so please give me a more credible source than that, please. Let's see. Damn. I'm actually not finding really anything that's... No. Hmm. Okay, wait. CBS 19 News? I'm not sure if this is going to be about what I'm talking about here, but... Okay, bumper release for latest Assassin's Creed installment did not say French video games giant Ubisoft from falling back into the red. Oh, bother. One through to profitability. No, I'm not seeing anything about the lying here. Hmm. I don't know. This is interesting because I'm not really finding a good source for this information. I mean, the only things that seem to be talking about this are like discussion boards, which obviously is not a credible source, and like YouTube videos from people like fucking Asmongold and Rev Says Desu, which obviously those are, I mean, you can't, those are not credible sources. Okay, interesting. I don't know. I'll have to, I guess I need to look into this a little further. But either way, I kind of, I don't know. I kind of want to tie this story into the idea that I don't know. I was watching a video recently about somebody who was, I guess they're thinking that the the video game industry might experience another crash here really soon. Um, because all these like big developers are experiencing these extremely costly failures, and yet they don't seem to be willing to change what they're doing despite these failures. And I kind of want to tie it. I want to tie this story into the idea that capitalism expects, you know, a certain amount of growth each year in order to sustain itself, but you just cannot expect that growth to continue in perpetuity. Like at some point, there's just no way you're going to be able to sustain that growth. But the thing is, I don't know if maybe I'm kind of grasping at straws here. I'm not sure how much that plays into what's going on here. How much that would play into if the gaming industry experiences a crash soon. I don't know. Again, that may be something I need to do some more research on before I try to spout, you know. But I have a feeling that that could be what's at play here. That, you know, because the thing is, like, the video games are making so much money right now. And it might be a mistake for developers to expect that to keep growing. We might be reaching a point where you can't sustain growth in video games anymore. Switch had a recent update that messed up people's switches. I heard oh, what was it? Crap. No, what was the deal? Here, let me Nintendo Switch update. Let me see. Oh yeah, I think this was it. Yeah, Nintendo says it can now disable your Switch if you don't follow its user agreement. Yeah, I heard about this. Yeah, bro. It sounds to me like they want to control the way you consume video games. And that's pretty fucked. Cuz I mean they're already basically making it impossible for you to own games anymore. Because when you download a game, you don't own it. Because when you download a game, that game is only as good as the hard drive that it's stored on, right? But then again, I guess you could say, you know, when you actually like bought a physical copy of a game, then that's only as good as the disc that it's stored on, I suppose. But I don't know. The thing is though, when you own a physical copy of a game, you can then go and like resell that game and you could get money back for it. Whereas when you just download a digital copy of a game, you can't go and then like sell it to somebody who doesn't have it and make money. So, yeah, I don't like that whole deal. I think getting rid of physical copies of games is absolute shit, personally. Anyway, I think this is a topic that I should probably do more research on if I want to keep if I want to continue talking about it, getting deeper into it. So I think I'll just leave it at that for now. Right, it takes much. See, that's the other thing, right? By forcing you to have to download a digital copy of the game, they're putting the onus on you to have the drive space to keep these games. And so that cost falls on you whenever you have to buy a new drive or whatever. Now, well, again, I guess the counter argument would be that back when you were getting physical copies of the game, you were also paying for the actual media that was stored on. So actually, bro, you know what? Now that I think about it, that brings up another good point that relates to this. Okay, think about it. Even though games have cost $60 for so long now, okay, bro, dude, I didn't even think about this before. Okay. It's very similar to the shrinkflation trick. Okay, think about it. It's a way that companies fool you, right? Whenever you consume their products. Okay, you know how, like, a good example would be like bags of chips, right? They don't want you to think that you're having to pay more for a bag of chips. So what they do is they put less chips in the bag. So you're still paying the same price. The price for that bag didn't go up, but they put less chips in the bag. So you're actually not getting as much as you were before. Now think about what's happening here with video games. They kept the price at $60 but they're making you only get a digital copy of the game. So you're not even paying for the media that game is stored on anymore. You're just paying $60 for just the date, like just the digital data. Think about it. It's the same concept, right? Sure, you're paying the same price, but you're getting less for it. You're getting less out of what you're actually receiving less because you're not getting a disc. You're not, that $60 isn't going towards both the digital data and the physical disc. It's only going towards the digital data. It's the same thing. That's how they trick you, dude. But no, apparently that's not even enough now. Now they're just flat out raising the price. Damn, actually, I'm kind of glad we went into this now. Because I that like completely went over my head. It just didn't even occur to me until just now. Damn, dude. Crazy. Okay. Well, I think we'll leave it with that. I think that's a good place to stop. All right, man. I will I'm going to call it a night. I will yeah, I'll be back tomorrow night. Although actually, wait. Ooh, how am I going to do tomorrow? Because I got another basketball game tomorrow that I want to watch. Yeah, and the thing is, fuck. Well, so I think I don't know. The basketball game comes on at it comes on at 7:30 my time. So that means it'll probably conclude around 10ish, probably a little after 10. And I normally go to bed at 11, so I guess that leaves me with a little under an hour if I want to stream after the basketball game. Otherwise, I'm going to have to stream like way earlier than I normally do. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll just wait until after the game's over. Cuz I'll at least have a little under an hour to stream, and I'm just going to stream Final Fantasy VII Rebirth tomorrow, I think. So I think that should be fine. So I'll just do that. So it'll be kind of a late stream. But yeah, probably a short stream too. But anyway. All right, man. Tune in tomorrow for some Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It's been over a week now since I last streamed that. So I need to get back on it now that I've finished the story quest on Genshin Impact. So, yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. So I'll see you then, Zane. Thanks for coming in and watching. And have a good night.